Hi, Midlife Goddess here. As you can tell, I just woke up and I broke my morning routine because I read an email. And this email was really from an investment guy that I follow. His name is Invest Answers, and I'm learning so much from this guy. I literally write in my journal, "Thank you, God, for James," every day, because he's an amazing teacher. But what he was talking about is one of the life lessons in investing was to cut your losses early, cut your losses right away. Don't have an ego and say, "Oh, I'm invested in this and it's going to work out. I made a good decision. I'm going to stick with my decision." Sticking with a bad decision for longer than you need to, it doesn't work, right? And the thing is, in life, I promise you, my only regret is sticking with the wrong guy for too long. I have wasted too much time with the wrong man. And if you think about it, being with the wrong man for too long is kind of like being in a bad investment for too long, right? And you've put all this effort or money or energy or whatever you've put into this investment, whether it be a person or whether it be a guy, and you're thinking it's eventually going to pay off because you don't want to admit that you were wrong in your choice. It's hard to admit we're wrong. It's so hard. Our egos are so big, right? We have these big egos and we're like, we don't want to say we're wrong. We want to say that all our decisions are good decisions, and all our decisions are not good decisions, not in investing and not in men or women, whatever you're dating. Being with the wrong person for too long, it's a big waste of time. I mean, we all say this like 3 strikes and you're out thing, okay? Should it be 3 strikes or should it be 1 strike? Because once you learn one thing about someone that really doesn't work for you, that's a deal breaker, you're always going to learn 2 more things, trust me. I mean, and more. You'll learn 10 things. But if you just cut it off at the 1 strike, wouldn't your life have been better? Wouldn't it have been better just to move forward and start anew? And so I started thinking about this. I started texting my friends with these deep thoughts in the morning, and I'm sure a bunch of them aren't even up yet, but I'm like, I like to be up with the sun. So I like to be up preferably before sunrise so I can see sunrise happen every day. So I'm like already thinking about all these things. And another of my friends who's an early riser, she did get back to me, and then we had a conversation about this. But what I was noticing in my life is that if you guys have heard that rule about you are the sum of your 5 people that you spend your most time with, and that's true, right? You are, if you look at your 5 closest friends, you are them. And you can compensate for having some weak links. By weak links, I mean people that are in your life that you kind of have to stay in touch with or choose to stay in touch with because of long-term relationships, family, maybe they're a family member, maybe there's someone you've known forever, maybe there's someone that needs you, but really they're dragging your average down because they're not someone you want to be more like. They're someone you want to be less like, right? So they're kind of dragging you down while you're kind of trying to pull them up, and they're dragging you down. Like the crabs getting out of the bucket and the crabs holding on to the other crab, and stopping that crab from getting out of the bucket to freedom, even though they're both going to end up down in the bucket, right? So it's harsh. It's really harsh to think about having to let go of people in our lives who are dragging us down. But thankfully, it's something that I've always been good at doing because I've always been changing and growing. I've never been married. I haven't had kids. So I've had this luxury of always growing, finding something new and getting all into it and finding another thing new. And it's a luxury I've had. While I have not had the luxury of having that perfect marriage with the perfect kids and all that stuff, I've had something that I think is equally amazing. So, and I don't think you can have both. Maybe you can. Tell me, can you have both? I don't know. But I started looking at all of the people I'm close to, and I realized that all of my friends who are really doing well in life are the ones who either are lucky enough to have very successful families or ones who have very small families. So there's not a lot of family. I mean, they might be an only child, and they just have their parents, right? So even if their parents aren't super successful, they are not holding them back. They're not dragging them down. Or if they have large families, I know people who are one of my closest friends, she is extremely growth minded, and she's been able to grow a business on the side. She has a really serious job, and she has a very serious side gig, and she's able to do this somewhat out of necessity, but she's just a powerful, successful woman. And her family was dead weight, and she dropped her family. She doesn't talk to them. No, she doesn't talk to her mother. She made the decision that she is moving forward in life, and she's not wasting her time by trying to be close and tight with her family. Now, in her case, I guess I would say it was a very easy choice for her, because her mother was so obviously toxic that she didn't have to think too hard about, am I getting anything good out of this relationship? Well, some of my friends, or friends who I used to be closer with and I'm not as good of friends with anymore, they fall into the category of they have these long-lasting relationships with people they've known since they were kids. And their families are big and close. And these are people who I feel like have all the potential in the world, as far as, they're born brilliant and gorgeous and all this stuff, right? But they're adults, and they're not really like where you would think they're not where I would have projected they would have been 10 or 20 years ago. I would have thought they would have really been I would have thought that they would have had everything they wanted. And they're instead in positions where they're still struggling, really struggling. And I can't understand why they're struggling, because they have all these natural gifts, right? But I'm thinking, why are they struggling? It's because they're so close with a whole bunch of people who are in their friend group, old school friends they've been friends with forever, and family group who are struggling, that they're contaminating their life with this struggle, right? And now, these are also people who probably value the continuity and the relationships, these close relationships, more than I do, right? I value growth more. Is that cold-hearted? I don't know. But if I'm not learning something, I'm not really happy. If I'm not growing and changing and getting better every day, I'm not really happy. I'm bored. I need constant growth. And I think that some people don't need that. They need more continuity. And there's really no saying who's happier, right? It's just what makes you happy. But if what makes you happy is goals and change and growth, then it's really a gift to be able to look at your life and look at who you're around and figure out, are all these people I want to be more like? Yes or no? And if hopefully the answer is yes. Hopefully there's as many people in your life as you can get that you want to be more like. You want to grow up and be like them. But if you have some weak links that you're not willing to cut free, cut loose. If you're not willing to cut loose these weak links, there is a workaround. It's called reading. Find a book, learn something. then you're spending time with the person who wrote that book, and you're learning and you're improving yourself. And, you know, that's valuable. And then that's person that you're spending time with. So you're evening it out. Another way is YouTube videos. You can learn pretty much anything on YouTube now for free. So watch YouTube videos and learn something. Pick a topic that you're interested in, learn. There's no such thing as useless knowledge. And you know when you're really on the right path, when all those random things you chose to learn about start connecting into one thing together. For me, that is this channel. I was doing a channel on hotels, and I was finding myself talking about my passion, which was traveling and hotels. I love hotels. Like, I would go to a place just for the hotel. Really, I would. And I've been to amazing places, and I'm super, super picky because I've been to so many amazing places all around the world, 5-star hotels, that I'm like, pleasing me at a hotel is not easy. Let's just say that. But I was only talking about hotels on this channel, and there are a lot of things that I know about that I might have more knowledge on and be more passionate about. And one of them is dating advice. And I guess that's because I have not been married, and I have been dating for all these years, and I've dated every single type of guy. You name the type, I've dated him. I've tried them all. It's like, you remember that back in the day, there was this variety pack of cereal you could get? My grandmother would get it. It was like, you know, the size of a large cereal box, but inside it were small cereal boxes. It would be like, you know, Fruit Loops, Frosted Flakes, Raisin Bran, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. They were all in this. And you could pick which cereal you wanted that day. Cereal is, you know, we all know cereal is not good for you. Just eat eggs, bacon, meat, you'll be better. But that variety pack, I had that with dating. And because of the way my life went, I ended up dating guys who were younger than me, and then significantly younger after that. And so this is something that I have a lot of expertise in. A lot. And I'm like, this is the thing I need to share, because this is the thing that, I mean, my grandmother had a boyfriend after having 12 kids that she met when she was 39, and he was 15 years younger than her, and they were together until he died 10 years before her. And then the guy that she was with after he died was 10 years younger than her, which I think is kind of a really sweet spot between male and female ages. Not every guy likes older women, and a lot of guys will only ever like younger women, and you're not going to change that. Don't be gross and try to change somebody's natural inclination. And some guys only like older women, and like really older women, to where that's kind of a fetish. Do with that what you will. But I'm talking about more just being open-minded to change and being flexible with their dating ages. I'm also experimenting with dating guys who are older than me. And so now I'm really comparing and contrasting all of these experiences. And that's what I'm passionate about talking about. But this is growth, and this is what growth looks like. Growth looks like figuring out what's going on in the world, in your life, and sharing it. And all of my close friends are very, very growth oriented. And it's not like they have gifts that my other friends don't have, besides the fact that the one thing I pinpointed, and well, my friend and I pinpointed this morning on the phone, was that willing to be alone. If you're willing to be alone, you have a decided advantage. So I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and comment. Like or dislike, either one. Thanks. Bye.